I have this sense that if I looked in the mirror right now, I may be looking at Iron Man. I don't have a reactor there, but yeah, whatever. First of all, word of gratitude to Father Sheridan and Franciscan University. I don't think we could fit any more people in here today. Thank you for saving my seat. Longing for light, we wait in darkness. Longing for truth, we turn to you. Make us your own, your holy people, light for the world to see. Christ be our light, shine in our hearts, shine through the darkness. Christ be our light, shine in your church, gathered today. Are they projecting my homily up here? Or is that you know the song. I love baseball. Now, I grew up just outside of Detroit, so when I was a little... I have a feeling this may degrade into a pep rally, so I better be careful. I was a little kid when the 1968 Tigers won the World Series, and I was in college when the 1984 Tigers won as well. And needless to say, while I'm sort of now living in the shadow of the Pittsburgh Pirates, and I do follow them, I still take a look once in a while to check to see how the Tigers are doing. And I must say, when it comes to the heart of their lineup, I don't think there's another team in the league that can match Martinez, Cabrera, Martinez. They are good. I'll probably be getting a few emails for that comment, but that's all right. You see, ever since I was a little kid, I loved baseball. I loved to play baseball. And it so happened, as I mentioned at one of the baccalaureate masses for the high schools this past year, I love to play third base, and I'm definitely a better fielder than I'm a hitter. But I had a very good coach who told me how to hold the bat. And I bet you've never seen a bishop do this before. Just to keep the shoulders level on how to swing through. Don't kill the ball. Like everybody, I was swinging for the fences, but at my height, the fence better be about 100 feet away. He taught me the coach did, how to use the talent I had, which was very little. I definitely was more heart and hustle than I was talent. But that would not stop me from playing ball, and third base was my base, my position. I loved it. I saw where my limitations were, and I saw how I could contribute to the team in that way. I was not going to be a cleanup hitter. I was not going to hit for power. I had to hit for average. Each one of us is called to find out where that niche is in life, that Jesus is welcoming us. We hear today from the head coach himself, the owner, Jesus, talking to Peter. He's not simply informing Peter that he has a game plan. No. Jesus is also reminding you and me that we are on the winning side, regardless the position you and I play. Jesus reminds us this day in his conversation with St. Peter that you and me, that the church is an indispensable part of his saving plan. In a very throwaway world, we are not. The church is not a human institution. The church is direct result of God's will. We hear that crystal clear today. Jesus is not simply telling Peter to square those shoulders No. He's reminding you and me we're on the winning side. Because you see, none of you here is a mistake. I'll say that again. None of you here is a mistake. We live in a culture in which people are told that they are a mistake. That can be so far away from God's will. You and I are intended to be here. What role we have, what position on the field is God's will. But we are part of that winning team. This day, you and I are reminded that Jesus chose his disciples. He did not hold, though, a Holy Land version of America's Got Talent or American Idol. For instance, if Pope Benedict 2 years ago, when he contacted me to become the Bishop of Steubenville, if he instead would have held a America's Got Talent to see who the Bishop of Steubenville would be, I would not be here. There are many more talented priests in this diocese than I, more intelligent than I, and yet this is God's will, to play that third base as a bishop, so to speak. Jesus chose the third and fourth hitters of his divine lineup, so to speak, St. Peter and St. Paul, this apostolic lineup. Jesus knew their potential, and both Saints Peter and Paul didn't just hit for average, they hit for power. Saints Peter and Paul are not simply great models for bishops, but also for you, especially the young. While we do live in a world which prides itself in confusing us, telling us that we can be something that actually cannot be, it is not in our spiritual DNA, we know better. We're not simply in the lineup, we know God's game plan. Your decision these days, when you leave the Diocese of Steubenville, except for those who live here, you're going to decide and explore to see just where the Lord is going to have you in that lineup. Might be the first or second hitter, cleanup, who knows? Designated hitter, relief pitcher. But continue to explore. St. Francis de Sales once said that, "Do not desire to be other than you are, but desire to be very well what you are." Now, I used that quote a few days ago in my Twitter. Yes, this bishop tweets. But in doing so, we remind who you and I happen to be and who we are not. And so I ask you, where do you fit in that lineup? Are you willing to allow Jesus to enlighten you, to see where you go? When you leave today, Franciscan University, remember, this is not over. When you go out, you return to your homes. Jesus is looking at you square in the eye saying, "Batters up." Are you ready for that first pitch? Many the gifts, many are the people, many the hearts that yearn to belong. Let us be servants to one another, making your kingdom come. Christ be our light, shine in our hearts, shine through the darkness. Christ be our light, shine in your church, gathered today. God bless you.